Joe, thanks a million for doing this. I'm sure you're being pulled in 8 million directions today. But I'm told you gave Tiger some advice on the first tee yesterday. What did you tell him?
Well, basically, Greeny, good to see you and good to hear from you. I basically just told him, I said, look, here's the deal. You need to keep the intensity you've always had your entire life. That's how you got where you are. But at the same time, let's be loose. Not loose like, let's go out and wave to everybody, smell the roses kind of thing. But be loose. Don't have the weight of the world on your shoulders. Enjoy it. Be intense, but let's get it done.
And obviously he listened to that. Can you take us through his mood? What was his mentality as you were back and forth with him throughout the entire round, particularly on that back nine yesterday?
He was a man on the mission from the get-go. I texted him early last week, and I said, how about you get there on a Sunday, which he normally doesn't do. We go out there and go out 9 holes and chip and putt. Because at the time, I thought that was kind of like the weakest part of his game. The short game wasn't quite where it needed to be, and obviously you got to have a great short game around Augusta. And to his credit, because, he likes his time at home with his kids, and I get that. He came up on Sunday. We went out there for 2 or 3 hours on Sunday afternoon and got after it with no crowd out there. We got a lot done. Because in the practice rounds, you hit 3 or 4 chips, 3 or 4 putts here and there. You just don't have the time to really grind out there because you got everybody playing a practice round. So we got off to a great start on Sunday, and he was on a mission from there. He was in a good frame of mind all week. He was loose, having some fun, but like I said, at the same time, he was intense, and he was a man on a mission.
We saw a lot of players making mistakes on that back nine at Augusta yesterday, which we have seen historically over the years, and Tiger not making any of those. How much of a factor do you believe experience was, having been there before and played those holes and knowing what mistakes not to make?
Huge, Green. We'll start with number 10 when he hits it behind the tree. Now, you're not gonna try to hit a big hole high slice in there, but at the same time, you may be tempted to do it. Was never a thought. He was always going to pitch out. Obviously you're still trying to make a 4, but let's take bogey and move on. He knows there's holes to be had later on that back nine. He also knows that the guys in front of us are going to have those holes too. So he knows at some point he's going to have to get after it and make a charge, which he ended up doing. But fast forward to number 12 when Molinari hits it in the drink, a break for us. We were always on 9-iron. We were always going to hit it left. But when you see a guy in front of you hit it in the water with more club, now you might start to think to yourself, geez, do I have enough club? But he was on a mission. We talked briefly on the tee. I said, you still got a little left to right in. You can't feel it, but if you look up at the trees, you can see it. It's always swirling there. Basically, he hit it 10 feet left of where he was looking, stuck to his game plan. He knows you're never going to go after that pin, regardless of where you are in the tournament. And to his credit, he has a very solid shot there. And he actually made a nice 4-footer for par, which was huge.
Well, how would you describe the mood there between himself and Molinari? After Molinari went in the water on 12, I tweeted at the time, if you're not shook at least a little bit after that, then you're not even human. And then we see what happens on 15. What was it like between the two of them?
Well, let's go back to 12 real quick. We're coming down 11, and we see that Brooks and Poulter have now hit it in the water, too, and they're taking their drops. So we know something kind of funny is going on. Those guys are 2 world-class players. So it's not like they're going to miss-hit iron shots. Certainly not Brooks the way he's playing as of late. So when we got to 12, you're just concentrating and grinding, and we basically know they probably hit 9 irons over there and just caught a gust kind of thing. But like I said, he was always going to hit it left there on that hole and was never going to be an issue. What'd you ask me about 15?
And then just 15, what was Molinari like? I mean, you're there. Obviously, there's psychological games of whatever sort are being played there. And Molinari, whose reputation, and well-deserved, is that he is solid as a rock. It had to get to him a little, and we saw what happened on 15.
I think it did. Like I said, you can't fake it around that golf course. He didn't hit a very good drive and had to lay it up left. I don't know if he wanted to lay it up into, I don't even know what they call it, the second cut or the rough. And then I think he just caught a bad break by hitting that branch, but it can happen. I mean, Tiger a few years ago hit a great looking shot in there, hits the pin, comes back in the water, and then we all know the issues about the drop. So there's no let up on that golf course. I mean, you got to pay attention to every single shot. Not that he wasn't, but it's one of those things where maybe because he was in that second cut, it came out a little bit high in the club face and got a little higher than he thought and hit that branch. Kind of a bad break for the guy. But back to Tiger, we're sitting there in the fairway. We got a nice number, a nice 5-iron. And, early in the week, we hit a 4-iron way long on that hole, which was a mistake. And to his credit, he stepped up there and hit a beautiful 5-iron in there.
Now let's go to 16, because that ball looks like it's going in. And I'm not even sure if you're aware or not that Michael Phelps is standing directly behind him watching that. What was it like standing there watching that ball roll at the hole on 16?
It was a great feeling. We're sitting there on the tee, same thing again. We're talking about maybe cutting a 7-iron or just a full 8-iron, and we decided to hit the full 8-iron, and of course he hits that big sweeping draw, which he has to get all the way back there. We got 180 yards, and he's played here a million times. He knows the drill. I mean, basically, he hit exactly where he needed to hit it, and then like you said, you can see the crowd get up. It's got a shot, and I guess there were a couple hole ones earlier, so. It's coming down, and I'm thinking to myself, is it going to be a home run? Probably not, but I'm thinking to myself, get as close as you possibly can. And then we get up to the green. He's a foot and a half from the hole, underneath the hole, and he says, grab a look at this one. I'm like, grab a look at the foot and a half, knock it in, pro.
He's cracked up my entire staff. Joe LaCava, the caddy for Tiger Woods. Two more for you quickly. I so appreciate you doing this. Take me up problem. That walk up 18. As he knows he's going to win, he's going to win at that point, and there are tens of thousands of people out there who know he's going to win. What was that walk like?
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, he tees off, hits a beautiful tee shot, and I know it's on the right side of the fairway, but you'd be surprised. I mean, he's in the fairway, and he's basically blocked out. He has no clean shot to the pin. Not that he's trying to hit it close. I understand he's trying to make a 4 or 5 and get out of there. And then we got a right to left helping wind, and it's one of those things where. If you don't cut this ball, basically overslice it, and it gets up in that jet stream, and you miss the green left, and now it takes a hard hop off the left edge of the green up into the crowd. Next thing you know, you can make a 6 from there, or a 7, because that's no fun up there. It's muddy. The people have been sitting there. It's wet. So he's going to overslice it, which he does, and I'm in the tree, so I really can't see it. So I come running out there to kind of get a look at where it is, and I said, he goes, oh, it's short right. I said, is it in the bunker? Because I'm thinking the bunker's no problem. And he looked at me and goes, no, it's short of the bunker. I said, okay, that's not a bad spot. And then I kind of get a look at the ball, and it's like 20 yards short. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I understand we still can make a 5 from there, but at the same time, a lot can happen. So I really didn't get a chance to enjoy the walk up there. Once he hit the chip, then it sunk in, then I was able to enjoy it.